You know what, Barry?
No, sir.
Fitness doesn't have to be complicated or intimidating. Let's talk about it. This show is for beginners, people stepping into the gym for the first time, sorting through the diet fads, wanting to feel stronger and healthier. Here is where we get down to the basics: the training, the nutrition, the recovery, and the mindset. Leading the way is NPC bodybuilding champion and seasoned coach here to guide us. His competition highlights include, out of his last 10 shows, two runner-ups and eight first place titles, along with a host of other accolades, placements, and accomplishments. And in his 50th year in the gym, training consistently. Welcome and all aboard the Train with Barry show. Hello, Barry.
Going on, man. Threw me out there. I thought that was before we were recording when you said, you know what, Barry? And I was like, no, but you were
Surprise. Yeah, I
you
got
were
to
in the
keep you
middle of
on your
that
toes.
production, man. You were working it.
That's right. That's right.
So
How's it going today?
you see my new backdrop or not?
Man, I'm impressed. I'm
Yeah, well,
impressed that it actually puts you into the train with Barry gym floor there, and it moves me to the train with Barry basement, it seems.
well, I appreciate you sending it with the production team finally where it got something going for me. The only thing that really bothered me about that is they said they send me a bill. I thought that was something you were just comping me, but we'll see what I
No,
get.
we're working it out. I mean, you are the only one with windows, so
No, it's true. I got
I'm
to clean them, but I got them.
kind of boxed in. How was the gym today? Hey, this is the second time we're recording this episode because something happened with the
Yeah.
production of the first one.
Hope it's better than the first one we did. We cut it at, you said, that's it. We're at the end. I'm like, how can that be at the end? But I feel like we just started. And you're like, no, it says it's at the end. And then you call me back. That was 18 minutes. I'm like, well,
Yeah. No, listen, it
I
wasn't
put it in
my
you.
error. No, not at all. Not at
No,
all. The thing it gave me, listen, we hope to have a better one this time.
I think it was, as I told you, I think is such a poor performance we put in that thing said, let's cut this thing while we get a chance and cut them off while we're doing it.
Yeah,
So no, it was
definitely.
what was it? What was it? Shoulder arm day today. Yeah, it was good. Yesterday was would have been well, we did it on Sunday. So that was my yesterday was my big chest back workout and then shoulders. And it's good. It's a little tired today, believe it or not. I think that went through on what I might have been just bodily, a little bodily. I mean, I always do. I persevered. I can't let that stuff get to me. I got to rise above it somehow. But I knew when I was on cardio that I was going to have to step it up mentally a little bit to get through it. But
What's your method of
Thursday,
cardio? What do you enjoy doing?
I did the elliptical for 20 minutes is what I normally do. I do it only. I do it on shoulders and before I do shoulders and arms. Um, I do cardio 3 days a week right now, which is more than I was doing. I started it back about a month ago. I probably hadn't done cardio in 6 months, as I've said before. I don't do a lot of cardio, but I'm trying to. I was talking to my brother this morning. We'll get started, but he was asking me how the podcast was going. He's hadn't had a chance to see, but the first couple, he's got to get into it. But I was telling him, what I found amazing about it to me is it's caused me to kind of step my game up, because you're trying to lead by example. So you're trying to talk to others to do whatever. So I find myself now wanting to get even in better shape or as good a shape as I can because I'm doing this thing week in and week out. So it's helped me to really pick it up a notch if there is such a thing to work a little harder, train a little harder, and do a little cardio, see if I can't lean out and maybe look like I'm getting ready, competition ready, whether I am or not. We'll see. But
Have you
um,
been working any of those? Last time we talked about ashwagandha,
oh
and
man, I've been studying those words for the last 2 weeks. I
that's
look
what
at
it's
that. You threw that out
ashwagandha.
there. You threw that out there like you wanted. I see what that was all about right there. So I'm going to show him right now. I did my homework.
I mean, I'm not trying to big time you or anything, but it's something that I learned about here from the wife. Ashwagandha is big among the ladies, but the one that I was not familiar with was the sh sh
Scum. Schisandra.
Cassandra.
Did you really though? You talking about you being serious about learning from the wife?
Yeah, absolutely. She
Or
she knew
she
about that.
started
That's
doing that?
it's big in the ladies circle of health talk and what have you. So she was 100% on board with exactly what it was. I don't believe that she's got it in her routine, but she knows all about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an adapter, basically adaptogen. Both of them are do similar to the same thing. But when I first heard about it was maybe it's been a year since I learned about that doctor I was talking about last week that we brought up.
Oh,
Uh,
that's Dr. Stacy Sims,
they
according
say,
to my
yeah,
notes.
yes, yeah, there you go. So she talked about it. And then when I re-listened to that podcast, I guess prior to us doing our last podcast, because I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk more about that German creatine we talked about, get more information on that. But then I remembered she talked about it. And I bought some of the Schisandra back then and was doing it, but not doing it. I was probably doing it once. I was doing it in the morning time, put it in my coffee before I went to the gym, seeing if that would help me. It calls for twice a day. So I will say, really over the last, since I did that last podcast, so the last 10 days, I've been doing it twice a day and really by mistake was doing it 3 times a day because I forgot it was only twice. So I was mixing it in my water when I put in my electrolytes. So anyway, but I will say what I've noticed about it and what it is good for, both of them. They're both anti-stress, so they deal strictly with cortisol, which can be a very potent thing, especially any time of year. But this time of year, Christmas-wise, stress is huge for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. So stress is the biggest killer, muscle-growing killer probably there is out there. I mean, cortisol does a lot of other bad things, but from a weightlifting standpoint, it's really tough for you to put on muscle or grow as effectively as you'd like to because of the cortisol.
One
So
of the
what?
things I learned about cortisol was that it's a contributor to visceral fat around the organs.
Right, will also help counter that. But the two different ones, the ashwagandha is good for stress, cortisol, and sleeping, as well as Cassandra, which is more about focus and liver support. If you break down exactly what they do, and since taking it, like I say, in the last couple of weeks, I truly have noticed how much better I sleep. Sleep's never been a problem for me. If I lay down, I mean, I've been very blessed. I mean, I'm out probably within a minute. I don't really think about it much. I know that my ex would just tell me she'd say we were laying there and she'd be all of a sudden we'd be talking about something and I went quiet for a minute, I was out.
Done.
While I wasn't saying anything, I just fall asleep in mid conversation. So I'm very easy to be able to do that. I sleep well, probably because of the lifestyle and training and all that. But I have noticed, and I thought about it again today, even last night, that I'm sleeping longer stretches, and I would contribute it to the getting back on the taking that 2 times a day, 3 times a day, whatever the case might be. So I'd highly recommend it. She recommends it big time for women, like you say, if your wife's well aware of it. But it's also good for anybody, male, female, and that's why I got back on it.
And that's the ashwagandha stuff, right?
Ashwagandha and
Yeah.
the Cassandra.
So
Cassandra is the one.
how are they different? I would just want to update my notes here.
Cassandra is focus. It also deals with cortisol,
Oh,
but mainly about focus, uh, uh, mental focus, as well as liver support. So just staying in the game in a sense and being more alert is Cassandra. The ashwagandha is more about sleep, stress, cortisol, and helping with your sleep.
so they complement each other
Oh
really
yeah, I
well, it
got to do.
sounds like.
I'm gonna do both. I've been doing one. I've already put my order in for the other. I'm gonna see what happens when I'm on doing both of them. So basically, right now, those two. All I'm doing is those two. My German creatine with my aminos, and we talked a little bit about that, the amino acids, last week. Didn't really. I don't know that I did a good enough job of explaining the point of why it is important. As far as it does build and repair muscle. It is they are the building block of protein. So it is a complete protein. Not all. For instance, real quick, if you ate rice and beans together is a complete protein, but beans without the rice isn't a complete protein. It's going to be missing some of the aminos in there. So most protein, but it's like 25 grams. A scoop of good aminos would be like 25 grams of protein. So it's already giving you protein in addition to the food that you're already, taking in.
Well, I think that's so important because I mean, just from you saying that, I don't know how many times I'll have maybe some rice and not beans, or
Right.
a cup of beans and not necessarily rice. And to think that I mean, to think that I would assume that having beans would be, like some black beans.
Right.
I come from a Latin family. Black beans is the thing, man.
Right.
And I would think just by having a cup of black beans that I would be doing not so bad, that would be protein, and that's not a bad meal. But you're saying that without it being coupled with something like a complex,
Right. Basically, rice would be the one that's going to make
right?
it complete protein,
And,
complete
and and so without
all the
having
aminos.
it complete, I'm missing out on some aminos.
Yeah, some of the aminos out of the list, some of the nutrients out of it. Um, the bigger thing also with aminos, it helps process and convert fuel to energy. So the food you take in is also big on helping you convert that over to energy. So aminos are, if you had asked me the number one thing I would take day in and day out, and probably been taking aminos now when I first found out about them. I say found out about them. I've heard known about them all my life. I mean, all my life as far as working out, even when I was 19. I just didn't put any stake in it. And so a young lady I ran into, not so much young lady, probably was in her 30s or 40s, but she was quite the bodybuilder, quite fit, pretty strong, and she was fit. She was pretty buff. And she was telling me that's the only, because people always would say to her, hey, what are you on? What are you taking? They always thought she looked like she's probably on steroids. She said, I've never taken anything. But she said, what made the biggest difference to me was aminos. So again, some things obviously affect men and women, but some of that stuff like the ashwagandha and some of that other stuff, Schisandra, aminos, plays a bigger part for women, probably more so because they just don't get the quality protein that they should, and definitely don't get enough. So it is just a supplement. And again, I take it once a day. You can take them twice. You can take it twice a day. I don't really quite think. Every once in a while, I might make a second one. I just enjoy the flavor. I drink, other than my coffee in the morning, truthfully, year in and year out, I drink coffee before I go to the gym, and I drink 99% water. I don't drink anything else.
I do the same thing, but
I just don't drink anything else.
I'll add something else in there. So I'd like to know your opinion about it. If I'm not drinking water or coffee, I'll have some of those little sparkling waters, like the Perrier
Right.
sparkling water or something like that. What do you think about those?
Yeah, the acidic acid's the only thing that would bother me. If you looked at it, the might make you retain a little bit of water. I don't know that I have a huge, but it's got the acidic acid is what you got to worry about. So anything that you pop a top off, just like sodas, and you hear that fizz,
Yeah.
that's what it is, the pressure. So I could do a lot worse. I'll say that. That's why I love my those electrolytes that you can pour in your water. And I, again, never, for years and years and years, this is probably now 12 years ago, I remember finally going to the doctor, thought I'd get some blood work done. Just this girl I was dating was a nurse, and she just harassed me so much. I finally decided, I'm not saying right or wrong. Should I get checkups? Probably. Have I ever done it? No. But this is the one time I did. And she said, your sodium is low, which understood them because I put sodium on nothing. I just was one of those that don't like retaining water. I try to stay lean. And I didn't, and all I drank was water. She said, you got to get electrolytes in your system. So she recommended that MyoFit that you see in the stores, not just Myo, the enhancer, but MyoFit has electrolytes in it. And so for me, I was like, wow, this is cool. So it's kind of like the Aminos. Aminos, the product called Extend, probably comes in 15 different flavors maybe. So I'm always drinking something, in grape in the morning before I go, mango madness, watermelon, lemon lime, blood orange, but they're all fantastic. So that's kind of a treat for me. So then I do my electrolytes, which is usually lemon lime, grape, or strawberry watermelon. So it's like Just, I mean, it sounds silly, but it's like dessert to me. It's better than, I
Sure.
guess, just plain water.
Yeah,
So
no,
that,
I can understand that, and I'm interested in that myself because, like I mentioned, that's all I end up drinking. But going, talking a little bit more about that is not just that's what I'm drinking, but I'm noticing what I'm eating here more closely ever since I downloaded the Lose It app.
right,
I got to be honest, I have not lo logged anything in that app yet
right.
because
What you're doing, yeah,
I gotta tell you, just having the app and setting it up and preparing myself to use it makes me view my consumption differently. And where I felt like I wasn't hesitant before, all of a sudden now I don't feel so honest.
right, right. It's funny how that makes you think, probably too. It's kind of like the people who say, "I'll see somebody." Yeah, you got to get in the gym. You got to work out. You really need to start doing weight training. That is the key. Weight training. If you had to do one thing in the gym, you had time to do nothing else but that weight training, any kind of exercise. It'd be weight training. It's the only thing that can physically change your body. But for that being said, they'll say, "Oh no, I got to lose this, and I don't want to turn fat into muscle, muscle into fat, whatever the case may be." And they
Yeah.
all think they got to lose their weight first. So I'm going to do a lot of cardio. Then when I lose my weight, then I also want to start toning up. And it's a process. It's a cocoon effect. While you're doing one, working the muscle under the fat, then you're burning the fat off, and now you see the effects of the workouts you've been doing.
Well, that's
So,
a classic excuse, and I think what it is it's a way to procrastinate. If I'm
oh
honest,
yeah,
when I've ever thought that that was legitimate in my mind, if I'm going to be honest about my thoughts, anytime I've thought that, it's it's procrastination. I can put off weightlifting if I have something to do first.
right,
I gotta lose all this weight first,
right,
Barry.
right.
You know,
But
I
it's
just
just,
I can't do all of that other stuff yet. I got to do this first.
if you take somebody like, and I think because we're doing this the second time, and remember some of the stuff we talked about, some of the people that reached out to us. One again was Rosemary. She wanted to correct us on age. I think we said
Yeah,
last week. Well, I
Rosemary,
did.
fan of the show,
67, 68.
friend
She
of the
was,
show. That's
yeah,
right.
no, she really is. I'm gonna have her. I told her I'm gonna have her on. She's 72 though. I like to bring her on. Maybe have her go to the gym with me here sooner than later. I'm gonna do that because
We'll start a train with Rosemary segment.
yeah, but she's gotten really. She gets better every time I see her. Now that's not. I brag about it, and I because I do brag on her because it's pretty cool, and I also bring it up because I hope it inspires others to want to accomplish the same thing and know that it can be done. But that being said, she also just keeps. It's rare. Is what I wanted to say. It's rare that you would just dive in the pool without checking to see if it's cold, warm, or whatever. And that's kind of what she did. She went from me talking to her on a Sunday night to Monday morning. She just went, "I'm all
All
in."
in. Yeah.
And it's not. It's again. I watch it every day in the gym. I see it today. I see people that I've been watching in there. Let's just say now we're at the end of the year for a whole year. Who hasn't done? I watched a class today. I watch on Tuesdays. They have this circuit class going on. It's really just they're doing kettlebells and they're doing kind of I don't say silly stuff. They work a sweat up. But there wasn't. And these women I've been watching, I'm honest to goodness, the whole year. A couple of them have got a little chunkier, but there's not one in that class that has changed her body to the better. Not one. Now, truthfully, I will say this, and I've always said this. I was reading on this. I get like an Arnold newsletter every week, and I try to read that and just pick up little tidbits or whatever. And that goes back to and it also just validates some of the stuff I talk about, which is you can't out train a bad diet. And I would say for most of these women, first of all, they're overtraining in there. They're sucking air. They're
I
trying to
hate
keep
that
up with all the
advice,
other
by the
women.
way. I hate that advice, by the way.
What's that?
You can't outtrain a bad diet.
Yeah, that's not good, is
I
it?
mean, you
Could be
said
able to do
everything but my
both.
name. Yeah.
So but I think the problem for them would be what it always is, which is, are they working hard? Are they, having to stop? They're probably doing, I don't really count, but it's based on a 1 minute or whatever the clock does. You got 10 seconds, five, whatever. So they're doing 15, 20, 25 reps, whatever. It's not a lot of heavy weight. They're doing a lot of volume. and they are working up a sweat, and they are sucking air, and they are struggling to get through it. But if you want to add on to that now, what they go to eat afterwards, if they eat anything at all, and not being able to repair and rebuild the muscle, what I've seen with all those ladies, every one of them, is actually getting less tone, getting just chunkier, just not any firmness to them, and actually getting a little bigger, truthfully.
Well, let
And
me
it's
ask you
sad.
this. If they were completely dialed in, and you and I have talked about this, and I don't know if this made it into the last episode or what, but I feel like I had a genius analogy here
Oh,
about cutting the grass.
oh yeah,
Okay?
yeah, yeah. I
You
think I
can
said
go out.
something, and that's what you said. I don't remember now what I said, but yeah,
Well,
you,
hopefully it'll
yeah,
stir your
but
memory here,
something
but
about that.
cutting the grass, you can go out there and do it with a weed whacker. But that's not the most effective way to cut grass. You're going to spend too much energy. You're going to spend too much. You're going to hurt yourself. It's not made to do that. You can do it in a more efficient way. And if these ladies were more dialed in to being able to being more efficient with their workout and their diet, let me ask you this, Barry. How long should someone expect to see results if they're intentional with everything instead of just going in there and moving weight?
They have a plan. I say, okay, Rosemary would be a great example. I told her when I first talked to her, I said, if you will see a difference in your body in 4 to 6 weeks. If
That
you
early.
follow this program, oh well, 4 weeks. If you're not seeing change of any sort in 4 to 6 weeks, let me just tell you, whoever's listening, it's not you're on the wrong program.
That's a
And
month and a half.
well, she's look at what she's done. She's dropped 3 inches in her waist. I'm telling you, her face gets thinner and thinner, and she is like different person looking to me. And she's been we've only this is our probably number 8. She jumped on board on probably number 3 or 4. It's only been 4 weeks now, I'd say, Rosemary. I could be wrong. I'm sure she'll correct me, but she's probably been doing this 4 weeks, 5 max. And I don't care. I tell everyone I train who comes to me, all my years of training people, I tell them the same thing. You will see a difference in 4 to 6 weeks. And if you don't, then we're doing something wrong. We need to address what you're doing food wise. It's not that difficult, especially for somebody, A, who's never done it, or somebody who's been doing it and just have a method to their madness. And you start dialing in what you're supposed to be. Your body, man, muscle memory is amazing. It will come back 100% of the time, every time, if
Well,
you're, healthy.
and you're not working out 7 days a week. You're talking about what, 3 to 4 days a week?
I think majority of all my clients train twice a week. Honestly, get total body twice a week.
So you're saying on a twice a week, if you're completely
Total
dialed in
body, I promise you.
with your diet,
Right.
working out twice a week, and in 4 to 6 weeks, you should see some type of body change.
Let's say we do a trial and we take Eric. Let's just throw out Eric. Let's throw his name out there. And we take Eric for 4 weeks. He starts training with me at the gym twice a week and gets his food right. The guy they're going to see on that screen right there 4 weeks from now, they're going to say, man, look how much thinner Eric's face, how much weight he must be losing. It just works, man. It's not rocket science. I'm telling you, it's not magic to it. It's a lifestyle, number one. I think that's what I try to get people to instill. And, it's fine to have goals and little humps they're trying to get over, or an event they're trying to do, wedding, whatever, weekend, going on a cruise. That's all fine. But that's just temporary in a sense, because what are you going to do once that event is over? You know what I mean? You need a bigger picture in a sense. So hopefully, again, like Marianne, Reg, and he's been doing it for a long time, some of these people are on board. And then clients that I have, like I said, I had clients with me. I trained Dave again Sunday, and Dave has been with me 26 years. And he trains twice a week. And Dave is 72, and it's crazy how I talk about every time I get with him that he's still lifting not just about the weight, but again, ask how many people out there at 72, 74 years old lifting 100-pound dumbbells. It's just not realistic. You know what I mean? And he
Right.
does it easily. It's not like he's struggling. Just something he lifts up, presses, and be done and put him back.
Shout out to Dave. Dave's been
Yeah,
doing it
but Dave's a
since.
beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, it just continues to work. I had this conversation when I had it with somebody the other day. and I have it with myself. There's really no reason as we get older that we're not designed to deteriorate. We deteriorate on our own. And when you're not weight training, and let me just say, when you turn 40 and you're not weight training, that slippery slope is fast. 3 to 5% of your muscle every year. That's a lot of muscle. 20 years, the scale's not going to show it because you're going to be putting on body fat. But I'll tell you what will show it: getting up out of your chair, or walking down the street, or just struggling in general. And I see it being out in the entertainment field every night. The amount of people that just struggle. I saw a guy that come up the other night. I think said he was 68. I was curious because time he got to the theater, I don't know where he parked. He couldn't park that far away. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. No, he was struggling to get a breath, and that was just walking from his car to there.
How old would you think that guy is?
I would say, looking at him, he's between 65 and 70. But
Wow.
he had a pretty good sized gut on him. Tell these people have never really done any working out. And then what I think about for me or for them is it breaks my heart, to be honest with you, because that's a bad way to go through life, to finally get to that age where you're retired and you can't enjoy nothing.
My mom struggled with that. 100%, I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's my hope, as we talk about, and I bring him up because we know we've been talking about is Benji. And I texted him this week, see how he was doing. He said, "Man, it's a slow process, slower than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be here for a while." I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not sure he'll make it back to his house. If he gets out of there, he might end up being in a home. Again, 24 hours being out, but being laying on your back all day, every day like he does, other than getting up to do a little bit of rehab. At 70, Ben's against, I don't know exactly, 73, 4. That's a tough thing to be able to do.
Sure.
So if you can just stay active, and again, it's not about how much you can lift. When I talk about lifting heavy, it's only relative to whatever you're capable. All I want you to do is do something better than you did yesterday. You know what I mean? I watch it again today. Guy in there pressing dumbbells. He gets his, I think it was 25-pound dumbbells, which is kind of, for a young guy, is kind of embarrassing. But he did set it 10 or 12, put him down, got his phone, played on it, put it down, 10 or 12, got his phone, 4 sets, put him back on the rack. Where he is, where he's always going to be. I mean, he's not doing anything to progressive resistance-wise or getting more muscle fiber, that we talk about, to get involved. So, again, as we've already said this 1,000 times, is it better than doing nothing? Maybe, but I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I'm not, it depends on but you want to be able to continue to progress, continue to spark your body to grow. And at the end of the day, osteoporosis, all that stuff, it kind of kicks in, the ability just to function, get up and out of your chair, out of bed. Man, just life is so much easier, being able to do whatever you want to do. And people like Dave and most of my clients, because they've been with me for so long, majority of my clients are all in their 70s. I got one lady, 82, and she ain't missed a beat. I mean, she probably looks in her late 60s.
Well, that leads me to a new segment that I would like to begin, especially within, and here within the last 10 minutes of the show. I'd like to start a quick fire round.
Oh my goodness.
With Barry. I don't know how quick we're going to get it. Another question that I had, you said in the entertainment business. I think people want to know, what are you doing, shows out here, Barry? What do you mean in the entertainment business?
Because I'm it's my security work I do.
Is that what they call it these days?
Working concerts and events,
right.
And I'll be doing my I got 4 nutcrackers next week. I'm up to number 12 13 nutcrackers. Be 13 done.
Nutcracker popping out of the cake.
Yeah, man, I got nutcracker down to a science. I can
hum
the song. So anyway, just that. What I mean by that is just seeing mass people every night, so many different people every night on all spectrums of age and whatever. But for the most part, as we already know, being close to 50% of America obese, it's a tough battle. But I'm going to do this real quick, but what you want to do. But I got a guy who works with me with the security, well overweight. He decided to have the surgery.
The lap band.
Yeah. All right. So did it. And he's definitely gotten smaller. He's still a big boy, but he's way better than he was. Well, when he shows up to work at nighttime because he works the stage. So he sits down there in front of the stage door in his lawn chair. He brings 2 bags, not one, 2 bags of chips, snacks, nothing but just chips and snacks. And he sits down there for the 4 or 5 hours, and all that's gone by the time it's time to go home.
Still?
Yeah. So the problem with that is, well, we already know, all that surgery, all the pills, all the stuff they want to do, unless you can change here, fix the problem, whatever that is, as far as the discipline or the ability to manage that.
Right.
There's no surgeon in the world. He's going to be right back where he was, if not worse, because now all he's eating is just calorieless foods.
Right. It's
trash.
No, it's garbage on the fire you're talking about. These are dried leaves onto the fire.
But the guy he replaced came down to me, Lauren, who's an ex-Marine. He's pretty fit. He said, Barry, you wouldn't believe the 2 bags of stuff he's got. He just had that surgery. And when I went down there to relieve him, go to the bathroom, it was crazy.
Speaking of bathroom, I don't think a lot of people put 2 and 2 together, if you know what I mean. The quality input is directly related to the the quality that you're going to have in that bathroom, and I don't think a lot of people are putting 2 to 2 together, and it's an obvious thing, but hey.
100%. And I mean, it's like everything else. When you're regular, like when I go to bed, I basically wake up without alarm. I wake up 5 o'clock, between that and 5:15 every day. It just becomes a habit. When I wake up, come downstairs, I eat my breakfast. First thing when I walk downstairs, my eggs are in the pan within 2 minutes. I finish my breakfast. I'm on them. I go to the bathroom, get my stuff together, coffee. I go to the gym. And that's every single morning. It's not like I say, even sometimes I'm sitting there eating thinking, well, I don't think I got to go today. And about 5 minutes later, it's like, well, got to go. I mean, just the consistency, though, of everything. Your body's amazing. It just, it works. If you have put it together and do everything on a routine basis, your body loves consistency. And weight training is all about consistency.
100%. Well, look, I got a couple of quick fire questions for you that we'll see how quick you can get through these. I know you probably have a lot.
See if I can answer them. How about that?
I don't think you'll have a problem. Number 1 here. What's the one fitness myth you wish would die forever, Barry?
Oh man, I thought I had a fitness myth. Well, I think the muscle and fat thing. As far as, well, I'll say bigger than that. Eat less, burn fat.
Not the thigh master.
If I eat less food,
it's not the thigh master. Not the thigh master.
I ain't used that in a while, so that might still work, but I'm not sure. But it definitely would be that. If you go and look at books, eat less, burn more kind of thing. If I take in less calories, my body's going to burn this excess fat. And it's totally the opposite. It just totally is the opposite.
Wow. Okay. Here's another one. What's the most overrated exercise in the gym today?
Oh, I got that because I watched him do it in that class today. And I've never seen him do it in the class. But it's that where you see people that take the plates, 45-pound plates or dumbbells,
suitcases,
and doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And if you ask them, because I have curious, acting like I didn't really know what was up, I say, what does that do? They're like, they're working their love handles.
The love handles. Yeah.
So, first of all, there's not, it's all skeletal. You know what I mean? Like right now, I don't have any, luckily, love handles. So all it is just bone, and your hips and bone. So that concept would be the same concept of if I chew gum, which I do only when I train. If I chew gum all day long, I'm going to have skinny jaws.
Is that not true?
I don't think so. Well, you chew?
No. So.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, no, it wouldn't be true. But that would be, I see that, and I see people do them every day, all the time. I've been watching that all my life. And if anything, it'd probably make them a little thicker. It ain't going to make them smaller. But in their mind, they're thinking, I got to work my love handles. The only thing that's going to get rid of that, what little I sometimes carry in the off season, by show day is 100% gone, is nothing but just shredded. And that's all by diet. It's not anything I do workout wise. You know what I mean? So it's always going to come back. And that's an interesting thing to bring up real quick. And that's because if you look at women, and I believe this wholeheartedly, obviously from the sugar drinks, the sodas, you would never see a woman, I don't know, 30 years ago, I don't know how long you'd go back, that had love handles, muffin tops. You never did. I never, growing up as a kid, never would see, they'd have bellies, but never anything there. Now you look at them, they're like guys. They have this muffin top or these love handles hanging over. I think it's the high sugar content. It's the those drinks. What are they? Cold brew drinks that you buy, or all those cappuccino, all those fancy little drinks that you go just get Starbucks.
Sure.
The sugar, but mainly soda. I think
Well,
soda is probably the biggest culprit.
I wouldn't know, Barry. I only look at my wife.
But
But
brother, yeah,
the
you know,
Purdue, yes, sir.
you. I want to say this real quick because I was saying this to my brother, and we were talking about the whole. This is off the subject, but food stamp thing, and he used to work Starbucks, managed it for a long time, and that's something I didn't know. You could come in there with your food stamps and buy all those fancy drinks, cold drinks with the high sugar, but you wasn't
Really?
allowed to use it for coffee. So you couldn't buy a hot drink, but you could buy the high sugary drinks.
I see.
And that's where we are with that now, even in society. Remember, used to be you could only buy certain foods. Now you can buy chips, soda, whatever you want to buy. So we, government wise, they create that where
Yeah.
people are just eating more and more obese.
Well, that definitely brings another point. That's another issue to talk about, totally another show. And but at this point, the producer man is flashing the light on us.
Is it
So
for real?
that's right. This is for real this time. I think it means we should wrap it up. So let me get this part out of the way. If you enjoyed the video, if you found some value, a free way you can help support the show is by hitting the like button. It really helps us out here at the channel. Also by clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's completely free as well, and you'll be notified when we post another show. Of course, share your thoughts and your questions down in the comments. We love reading what you have to say. And other than that, how can people reach out directly to you, Barry?
Train with Barry, or I even say even better than that, hit me up on Messenger. Even if you just are part of Facebook in any way and just look it up, they'll ask me. So so and so sent you a question or sent you a remark. Do you want to accept it? And I will then do that to where I can. That's how Rosemary reached out to me in the beginning, was sending me something on that. So that
Hit
was
us
kind of
up
cool.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that is it, everybody. Until next time. Adios,
Appreciate
Barry.
you, Eric. Talk to you.